Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. What began as a CPS investigation in Delta County ended in the arrest of Justin Scott Crawford, age 33, of Commerce. Crawford and his one-year-old child tested positive for methamphetamine. Crawford tests showed a level that reflected constant use. The child tested in the moderate use range. During the investigation, Child Protective Services contacted Special Crimes Unit officers who began the investigation. Crawford's residence is a Commerce address in Delta County. The investigation led to a Delta County warrant for abandon, endangering a child, a state jail felony. Crawford is in Hopkins County Jail, held on a $20,000 bond. The 2018-2019 Paris Junior College budget approved this week by the Board of Regents reflects an increase from the previous year due to a projected increase in federal financial aid pass-through. After learning of the federal aid increase, the Board of Regents gave final approval to the budget totaling $34,543,871. Dr. Pam Anglin, president of Paris Junior College, told the Regents more Pell Grants to students are anticipated for the year, creating the major increase. Prior to the regular board meeting, the Regents held a hearing on the proposed tax rate, unchanged from the previous year. No public comment was received. A second public hearing will be held at noon on September 10th. In other actions, the Regents approved a policy requiring a property deposit fee of $0. Procedures to collect damages for destruction of property at PJC continue to work well. They approved the transfer of up to $1.5 million to Facility Renewal and Replacement Fund, depending on the amount remaining at the end of the fiscal year. Personnel changes were also presented. You can find those on KSSTradio.com. In 52 years as a journalist, Kerry Craig said the high point of his career was March 14, 2001. That Wednesday in March was the day he moved to Sulphur Springs to work for the local newspaper. Craig, who has reported news in radio and print media, said journalists often move from place to place and they evaluate and choose communities where they will exercise their passion. He noted the welcome and reception he received locally made Sulphur Springs his hometown. On Tuesday, at the invitation of KSST News, Craig reviewed his 52 years as a journalist. And in comments made regarding Craig's work in Sulphur Springs, Hopkins County Sheriff Lewis Tatum told KSST News that Craig's coverage of law enforcement had assisted the various departments in maintaining communication with the community. Criminal investigator Dennis Findley said Craig's integrity and courage assisted in holding the department to high standards and gave the public a true view of their work. For the interview that we had with Kerry Craig, go to KSSTradio.com. Here's Don Julian with sports.
Marty Secord is the only head football coach that Frisco Wakeland has ever had. Coach Secord was hired to build the program as the school opened in August 2006. He said Wakeland began in a Class 3A district that featured talented schools such as Salina, Pilot Point, and Prosper. Coach Secord said the Wolverines took their lumps back in those days, but it prepared them to compete at their current level. They are now a big school, Division I Class 5A school. The Wildcats are in the smaller enrollment Division II in Class 5A. Wakeland has made the playoffs the last 5 years and 9 of their 12 years, according to Coach Secord. He said he has pretty much been successful in keeping his staff together in recent years. Coach Secord said among his goals for this year's team are to get back into the playoffs again, to play for the district championship, and to make a long run in those playoffs. Obviously, Coach Secord finds Wakeland to be a good place to work. He said the kids are great. He added that he had a good coaching staff of good men, and he said the administration is good. Coach Secord said his Wolverines team this year is young and a work in progress. He said he's playing non-district games to get his team ready for district play. Coach Secord also coaches quarterbacks, and this year's starter for the Wolverines is 6'5" junior Dylan Liable, who played all last season on the JV team. Wildcats coach Greg Owens said Leibel looked poised and also looked very good in Wakeland's scrimmage win over West Mesquite last Friday. Coach Secord said other offensive players that he is counting on this year are receiver Kevin Reichel, running back Cade Starnes, and receiver and defensive back Garrett Field. On defense, Coach Secord especially likes his linebackers. He said the Wolverines run the same defense as the Wildcats. Coach Secord and Coach Owens traded scrimmage videos, and Coach Secord said that he was impressed with the Wildcats' defense against Liberty Ilo. He called that defense hard-nosed. Coach Secord said the Wildcats' outside linebackers looks like a strength of the defense, although he was also complimentary toward the Wildcats' safeties, cornerbacks, defensive linemen, and inside linebackers. On offense, he said DeCorian Young could hurt you, especially running the football, but also passing. He also liked the Wildcats' running backs. Coach Secord said the Wildcats also appear to be a work in progress, just like the Wolverines. He said, as usual in a first game, it will probably come down to execution in the kicking game. Coach Secord compared it to a chess match with each team trying to exploit the other. He called Sulphur Springs a quality opponent, and he added the Wildcats had a tradition of having good teams. The two teams have never played each other.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.